Hello, all. We are back playing Mnemonic on actual play. The adversary, who is still unnamed, Jamie,
Jamie's dad.
Jamie's dad, Jamie's alternate universe evil twin dad, has come with his league of exceptional mercenaries to set fire to the town and chase everybody out of here. And we are with Bucket Brigade and Lightning Fist sending them away. Misha, I think it is your turn to burn some decks.
Alrighty, let's see. Where's my mouse? There it is. Okay. All right, we got a 6 of spades. Ooh, a 10 of spades. Let's get that in the middle. And a jack of clubs. This is going to be a difficult hand to fight. Yes. All right, Jack.
Rival.
Jack is a rival again. Another one.
Could be the same one.
It's your past just coming back to you.
Apparently, you know, the whole
Maybe
flower
it's
garden's coming after
another
me.
flower garden will be here. Yeah.
All right, so who's this one? This one is Ivy. Ivy is he's an obnoxious sort. He kind of like grows on everything. He just follows you around and he like worms his way into your circle. And he was just that annoying guy that you really want to be around, but was always right there. Yeah. Why do we always fight when we meet? Because he's an annoying guy and I just want him to go away and he won't go away. Why do we never kill each other? Because he's annoying, but he's not, you know, vicious. So he's not really worth killing. Like, it's not like there are people who annoy you, but you don't necessarily want to kill them. You just want them to go away. So, yeah. All right. So I think I just get the one die.
Does it match your? Yeah.
Yep. Not a 7. 7 will stop typing 7. A 3. Yeah, it's not gonna match anything. So I'm going to lose.
All right.
So the adversary gets 3
plus 2 points for the card. So that's 5 total.
5.
Your rivals are just coming back to haunt you.
Yeah, apparently.
Damn.
What do they say as they walk away, and why does it make my blood boil? I think they say something like, your friends will never notice you're gone when I'm there. Yes, I know I'm evil. I hurt myself.
Did they start taking a shape that looks like you?
Yes, perfect.
Because I can
So they
imagine
start like
Ivy
going
just
from
being
greenish,
able to like.
bluish, and yeah.
Are you like still trapped in this building, or is there some other thing that's like kind of keeping you out of line of sight from us, where you can't?
I don't think I'm in the building anymore, but yeah, somehow we got separated, and so like I'm off dealing with a whole nother group than the rest of you were.
Love it. Dig it. Cool.
You're trying so hard to protect. Oh.
Yeah. I protect.
Yeah.
It don't work, but I protect.
All right.
Jess,
Next up in this burning deck of feelings. So many feelings.
So many feels.
8 of spades. Oh, yep, there we go. Queen of spades. Didn't I get a queen last time?
You did.
Yeah, you did. Okay, who's shuffling?
This is the fate. With our intention, we spoke truth into power. We were like, heck us up. Spades is my thing. So this is my
Yeah.
thing.
Awesome.
So this is an ally. Gosh, okay.
This could be Agnes again if you want to reframe another situation with her. Or it could be Jamie. I don't know. Could be
What?
Chestnut.
Listen. What if it was one of the mercenaries, but it was an ex-lover that I turned to our side?
Oh yeah.
Like
So
the
we
rival scene 6.
Yeah, we square up, and then I see the face behind the mask and the weapon, and I'm like, fancy meeting you here. You're better than this. You don't need the money for this. How dare you come back to this life? Get back on the side that you belong. Fight for what you truly believe in, what's in your heart. How dare you even doubt yourself?
Can I just say that at this point, with you giving such an impassioned speech, you would be like all kinds of like refracting like all of this stuff from one gem to another, like giving this impassioned speech. And it's like, you know, like me just looking over here and quietly going, I think she's doing the thing, but she doesn't know she's doing the thing.
There's
Just
effects
glowing.
going on, and it's like sparkling behind you, darling.
You
I
can
also-
see me glow.
I also dig that you're like, take off your mask, because like you like Aurora concealing feelings is exactly, you know, your MO. So I dig that. Like, show yourself to me when you have such trouble showing yourself to others.
Yeah, sounds about right for me. Okay. So with the Queen of Spades,
Spades
how
is
many-
your color, right?
it is.
Or your suit. So you get 3 dice normally and 1 more die for the ally.
Okay, so I just have to match an 8 as many times as I can.
Yep.
I mean,
Hell yeah.
a once even is great.
Yeah.
Oh, once. So 4d6. Here we go. All right.
Oh,
1,
yeah,
3,
2 ones.
6. There it is.
So-
Okay, so 6, 1, 1 is 8.
And you can re-roll those ones to see if there's
I
more.
can. I'm gonna roll them one at a time for funsies. 2. So 6
Boom.
and 2 is 8.
Got it.
And 5
5
and 3 is 8.
That's
Yeah.
3 points.
And 5 and 2 and 1 is 8.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah.
5 and 3.
Now, do you count the 5 and 2 and 1 combo for each one?
Yeah, is it 5 and 2 and 1, and then 5 and 2 and 1 again? Because it's 2 different ones.
I'll allow it.
That was so beautiful. That was ominous and great. Okay. So technically we're at 5 iterations of 8.
I think so.
5 and 3, 5 and 2 and 1, 5 and 2 and 1, 6 and 2, 6 and 1 and 1. Yep.
Wow. I love
Yeah.
math.
So 5 plus an additional 5 for winning the fight.
Oh yeah.
That's 10 points.
There. We neutralized that other 10. I'm so curious since I've like done 0 tracking of the scorecard.
I think we're still in the positive.
I think so. That was a big epic storm.
So yeah, what's it look like? Hold on, if you win, what do they say? No, wait. What words of wisdom do they offer you as they join your group? We got a new friendo.
2 new friendos.
Brando. I think they thank me for reminding them of their core passions, and they leave me with a tidbit of Do not judge harshly for those who lose their way. Which is not something that we all have to prescribe to. That's just a tidbit that is given to me.
Yeah.
What's that? That's a thinking face, and
There's just a lot of things that I am thinking and feeling behind that, but they're good things.
okay, cool. I just want to check it. And that's it. I'm passing it the torch. I think it's you now.
Okay, here we go.
Just a quick administrative note.
Yes.
Because we won the queen in this scene. We won it in the previous queen scene. We now get an additional die anytime the face card matches that suit. So clubs or spades, if the face is either of those, you get +1 die.
Okay. So
I should have remembered that in the last ace of clubs that we had.
So for every ally you get
the
additional
jack
die
club
when
thing.
it's your turn.
Yeah. So if it's clubs, then you get an extra die.
look at the Joker.
What's up, Joker?
Joker.
That's a whole thing. I have
That's a
gone and
whole
gotten
ass
the thing.
Jam.
All right. So the first Joker, the choice. Now the big bad appears with a devastating assault on you and your friends. The question is, how do you save yourselves? When you draw a Joker for the first time, consider who is the adversary. Well, I think we know who that person is. Or at least we hope we do.
I want to give him more definition, though. So far, he's just Jamie's dad. We could give him a name or just a mustache description, a goatee description.
Why do they appear?
Why do they?
Well, I mean, y'all had 5 theories on this. I don't know which one we want to use.
Well,
I think you get to pick.
Maybe let's focus in on why do they appear here in this moment?
But
Leave
they've they have appeared here. We know that they are here, that people that are working for them have set buildings on fire, and that Janny has has identified this person as her dad, whomever he might be. This happened shortly after the lake appeared, so
Okay, this is gonna sound bad.
it feels to me like they just do not want this town to prosper. But I have ideas why, but I also don't know why. So, what you got there, Misha?
So what if this is a go back and stop the bad guy thing? This is Negadad from the future, and Janie grows up to do something really, really bad, and so they're trying to stop Janie from turning bad.
But I don't even bruh, just have take her on into the woods and have a chat or something like that. Why do you have to set the whole town on fire though? Unless Agnes would have stopped him.
I don't think Agnes would let future bad dad take Janny away without protest.
Yes. Carrot cane to the nads.
Exactly. She knows how to use it. She's even got a saying about it.
I think it would be who or what do they threaten? Maybe Agnes is who they threaten, because it feels like Agnes is very much the heart of this town.
Agreed.
I would definitely agree with that. How do they threaten Agnes?
Well, if they came from the future to stop Janny from doing something, maybe they threaten Agnes to either I don't know. Does he come here to take Janny to the future with him? And if he, isn't one of those, I'll burn this town to the ground unless you let me, unless you like let her take me. Does that mean also that Agnes may have been aware that Jenny was a weaver low key the whole time and didn't want to say anything?
Like maybe it's, Agnes is the only thing keeping Janny from learning to be a weaver, but they need Janny to be a good weaver and not a bad weaver, but that means she needs to learn earlier rather than later. And so they
Y'all,
have
we
to
are like
learn
Loki in the
grandma.
plot line of the craft right now.
It's
Yeah,
the chosen one.
Sorry.
Oh,
That wasn't the craft. Was that the craft? That wasn't the craft.
I don't know. Me and media sources.
Yeah, I was just saying
No,
the
like-
craft had no such high and mighty
Yeah,
pretensions. The craft was
like
about a bunch
way
of
too
teenage
highbrow for the
witches that
craft.
were just like
No, like you had
switching
the
traffic lights for fun.
That was the one with the boys that I can't remember the name of, with the bloodlines and
Covenant.
the Covenant. That's the one.
Yeah.
What generic vampire things do we have to say?
Yes, Misha's totally rolling the great eye now.
But I mean,
Oh my god!
if Dad has learned that Janny causes like some untold and unspeakable thing that happens in the future, and he comes back into the past to prevent it by any means necessary, I guess the person that he threatens is Agnes, because Agnes is aware. And maybe they get into an argument about it right in the middle of town. Like he comes back and it's like, you knew the whole time and you didn't tell anyone.
You could have stopped this whole thing if you had just let her embrace her destiny.
Oh God, no. This just got serious though. What do we want to do with that though?
I don't know. I'm just throwing shit out there now.
I'm creating dramatic chaos.
Yeah. I think
Or
Misha's
the
creating
story.
problems, and you're the one that's on deck to solve them. So yeah,
Okay.
I totally dig this. Agnes, like between us and our new rivals, maybe we've like pushed the mercenaries back a little bit. Maybe the fight is looking a little more even, and so now the leader of both sides, Jammy's dad and Agnes, are like facing off, and they're having their showdown about you knew that this was gonna happen. You let our child.
Because I mean, it's either that or maybe her dad wants her to become this powerful weaver or something like that because he knows she has that potential. And her grandmother's like, I just want her to live a normal life and be a kid. Like, she'll become a weaver when it's time for her to become a weaver. You need to stop rushing her. It's going to do terrible things.
But maybe there's no time.
Poor little Jenny's doing the, ping pong match watching.
I think if that's the case, then Father is like, there's no time. She needs to start now if she's going to complete her training. Otherwise, the dark weaves will tear apart everything we know and love, etc., etc.
So
this was a test.
Like, why does he keep saying etc.?
How will you survive?
Even if it's horrible. It's great.
Well, I'm very curious about this because what we have here is it's not a fight. We have options, and those options include either weaving, which is me asking another player for a roll from the 13 die. On a result of weaving or fray, the adversary has no points to their score for the scene. On a result of bend, you must flee. On a result of tear, you must accept a terrible cost. Remember that you're always allowed to change your luck, though. And then there is a small prompt here, but it's so heartwarming. What memories keep you and your friends safe from harm? Because that's the other question that we have here. How do we save everyone? But I think some of that is me thinking through what these choices are. If we choose fleeing, the adversary is allowed to cause terrible harm to your friends. Add 1 to the adversary's score for this scene and every numbered card that was gathered before the Joker appeared. Also ask your friends for forgiveness. And then finally, accept a terrible cost. If you accept a terrible cost, your character leaves the story permanently. Maybe they die or are forced to surrender. Maybe they simply just kind of go away. Rip up the score sheet, the adversary is defeated, and you win.
It's gonna happen.
Well, my question is, on a scale of 1 to 10, what kind of feels do we want here? Because it's a choice for me between either weaving or accepting a terrible cost.
I think if you accept a terrible cost, it could be interesting, and we figure out how M, dedicates themselves to help this out, and that takes them out of the story. They don't have to necessarily die or whatnot. But also then, like, maybe next time you're playing Jammy, or you're playing Chestnut, or you're playing, Agnes, or, if that's something that's compelling to you. I think there could be an interesting story of sacrifice here if that's exciting to you.
I mean, my favorite tag is hurt fix or hurt comfort, so do what you will.
I think we're going to weave.
All right.
I think we're going to weave.
Who do you want to pick your die?
The answer is really odd here. I have to ask one of the players. I am tempted to just ask Jenny to pick this die, but she's an NPC. So I'm going to ask Mouse to pick this die.
Let's go with... Let's go with the cloth die.
Okay, so let's see what the cloth die does.
The cloth die isn't written, so I'm just going to improvise.
Oh, okay. So
Doing it live.
Okay.
So the cloth die is it's made of hemp, and it's filled with beads, and the numbers are painted on each side of it in black ink, and it feels light in your hands.
Okay.
And it bounces when you roll it. And when you roll the cloth die, it calls to mind memories of the feeling of wearing a garment that fits perfectly, or it calls to mind memories of waking up in a warm bed with nice sheets, or it calls to mind a blindfold that you're forced to wear, depending.
Much like the one that I'm currently wearing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you this die.
Hi. Here. Thank you. And so how many die do I roll for this?
Just roll 1d6.
Okay, the d6. Here goes. Well.
Okay, so this is fun. On a 6, the roll is it's a tear, and so I'm going to read what I've written for the tear. The effect is singular, dangerous, unwieldy. The weaver might recognize the memory called with this weaving. It is a memory that stories are written about, in awe, or wonder, or sorrow. So with the cloth die, you get the memory of some I'll let you decide the tone of it, but there's something that happened in this world's history where the fabric that was used was very important.
Also, just the reminder, you can change your luck if you want to. You can re-roll the die.
That's a very good point, because on a 6 with the choice, if you accept that, you're forced to accept the terrible cost.
Goof.
Do we want to do that though? I was just kind of like, it's either weave or terrible cost, and like weave was like, but actually.
Oh man.
You are allowed to reroll.
Yeah,
Say to
I
the
mean,
camera,
it's,
you are allowed to reroll.
Like, I'm just looking at this and going, like, I'm just kind of having an internal kind of monologue with M about, kind of like, are you ready to go yet? Because that's how that feels. Like,
mhm.
are you ready to go, or do you want to stay? So, I think
Valid question.
I think I'm gonna re-roll that, because I have often learned that the characters that I have in games surprise me with feeling very differently about things than I do about certain things.
Mhm.
And this could be one of them. So we have a 3.
3 is a weave. So on a
Yes,
weave,
weave.
it's potent and controlled. It's connected to the weaver on a personal level, drawing on memories that are important to them. That connection is what gives it power.
Okay. So because it is a cloth die, how do I guess we can kind of characterize this in any way that we want, right?
Mhm.
Kind of how this whole thing works. So I think the way that I resolve this situation, or the way that this whole thing resolved and what I use the weave to do, the memory that I kind of get caught up in is listening to stories before bedtime. Telling a tale of this thing or that thing or the other thing. When I was much younger and living with, I think it would be safe to say, they would be my parents. And kind of just very calmly being tucked at night before bed. It's the feeling of some ease or comfort or rest, kind of. This is like, we're at the end of the day, we can kind of take a break from everything. And I think looking at the town being on fire and everything else, that would definitely be kind of the mood that M would want. I want people to stop arguing, and I want things to stop burning, and I want everybody to kind of chill out, because I think it could just I think it can just be anything. I think the blankets literally started raining from the sky. Just blankets everywhere. Everything in the town gets covered in blankets. They're draping from the trees. They're smothering all of the fires. They're landing on people's heads just randomly and impromptu. A bunch of them have appeared in the lake and are absorbing some of the water. I'm pretty sure one of the bunnies has a head poking up from them, and I think one of them lands on Janny's head for sure.
Posy down.
And it's one of those moments that for what seems like, a moment, whether long or short, we're not sure. Everyone just like tension just eases for a moment.
We're all covered in blankets. You gotta get cuddly then.
Yeah.
It's like pillow fort time.
Pillow fort.
I am almost tempted to say I am suddenly very tired. Like I just kind of want to like curl up and just go to sleep. Like it's blankets. Everybody's finally not yelling. Things aren't on fire. I think everybody just needs a nap. We can talk about things after we have a nap. The other thing I would say is and would break into a song. There would be a lullaby that they would sing while the weaving is happening. And with that, I am going to pass the turn to D. It is your turn.
All right. I'm going to move these cards out of the way. Oh. All right. Five of hearts. The 8 of hearts. 7 of clubs. The 2 of clubs. Oh gosh.
This is gonna be bad.
The 5 of spades.
Oh, we're digging through the deck.
Okay, there's 2 5s.
Burn, burn,
Hey,
burn.
hearts. It's hearts, though.
All right. The King of Hearts. Okay, so the king is the tide.
First king.
You feel the shift before it happens. Ooh, I think I know what's coming. All right. You feel the shift before it happens, a rumbling under your feet, the smell of smoke, a thundering boom in the distance. You have only a moment to pivot before the tide changes, before everything around you turns to chaos. Do you press forward through the inferno or retrace your steps and hope there's another way? What's more important, your life or time? When you draw the tide, consider the following. What happens to stop our progress? I think there's like an earthquake. I think, so like Forge did like that shockwave that swallowed Warren in the earth.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is like the aftershock of that shockwave.
Nice.
Who else is put in danger? I think everybody. This is the kind of thing that like buildings could fall over. People could be put in danger. Like there's blankets over everything, but I think there's definitely danger for everyone in the town. How will we escape the danger? We have to get away from, hide under your desks. We can't stand in like the doorways at all because the buildings have been on fire, and so the buildings are not safe. But getting everyone into an open space, and what's lost in the chaos, probably people's homes. So, good news is we win on a tie. So I'm going to go ahead and so we get 3 dice because it's hearts, and my strong suit is hearts. So I'm just going to roll 3d6.
You don't have a queen of hearts yet, so.
Right. So a 3, a 1. Let's go ahead and re-roll that. A 5. So a 3, a 1, a 5, and a 6. Okay, so we've got 2 5s. So we're going to get 2 points right off of that. We've got a 6.
6 and 1 will get you the 7.
6 and a 1 will get me a 7.
3 and 5 will get you an 8.
3 and 5 will get me an 8. And the only thing that we don't have is a 2. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 5 points here. We get 4. The adversary gets 1. I think we did a pretty good job. We save everybody from the wreckage of the earthquake. We get 4 points.
I mean, I imagine a lot of people that are going to get tossed around can be wrapped up in blankets, and so when they
Yeah.
get tossed around, like they're
Shock absorbers.
exactly right. They're bouncing around, but they got their blanket. They got their.
Like I feel like there would be this whole like I'm just imagining this on a cinematic level. There's like this whole thing with the blankets appearing, and then everybody just kind of like pauses for a second, and then the shock wave happens, and it's kind of like Good thing we have all of these.
Good thing
Yeah.
all these blankets.
Yeah. So I think Mouse is like gathering as many blankets as she can to like build like a mattress that people can like lay on that's like nice and soft, and then like also like huddling people up. And then I think also within the if you win description is you avoid the worst of the danger that surrounds you and make your way to safety as you press forward. Add 8 to your score for this scene, so that puts it up to 12. The question is, who do you save in the process? And I think in the aftermath of the shockwave, maybe Warren emerges from the earth
Yeah.
just in time for your next scene.
Warren!
Yep. My previous question was, how are you forever changed by this? And I think Warren went to such deep levels, like to such molten levels, that there's all sorts of parts of Warren that have been sort of they were all sort of earthen before, and now I think parts of them have just been turned to stone, and there's like stone plates kind of in various parts of their body, and they're like steaming right now, and I think they will just continue to steam. Although the bunnies are totally unaffected by this, they do not seem to mind the plates, but there's like this superheating that happened. Yeah, it was a bunny spa. They were fine inside, but there was like a superheating that happened around Warren to turn them into stone, or turn parts of them into stone from Earth. Yeah, let's see what a draw does.
2 of spades, 7 of spades, 4 of diamonds, 6 of clubs, 9 of clubs.
This is the opposite of my last roll.
9 of hearts.
Where I
Good
got
grief, dude.
9 of spades.
Oh my.
Just keeps going.
shuffled this deck. There we go.
That's
Wow.
Joker!
the second Joker.
Okay. All right, so let's pull up there's a lot of cards here, but I don't think we.
I believe we do not need the cards anymore.
All them cards. Okay, second Joker. This is the big fight. The one that's going to determine whether or not you stop the big bad from doing whatever it is they're set out to do. When you draw the Joker the second time, consider the following. How do we find the adversary? How will we stop them? What are they trying to do here? Why can't we let them succeed? I think we find the adversary. I think we find Jamie's dad. I think his name is Roger. It's a good tricky name. I think we find Roger. It maybe not be a fantasy enough name, but I'm gonna stick with it. We find Roger digging through a pile of blankets to find Jamie, and he's finally lifted up a blanket, and he's found Agnes and Jamie, and they are kind of huddled together. They got split up in the blanket fall, and I think that Agnes and Jamie have had some time to talk. I think we see tears on Jamie's face that Agnes has revealed something to her that she didn't know up until now. I think we can all imagine that it's, that there was some prophecy about Jamie, that she has some great powers. I think, Roger hadn't been willing to share any of this with her. He was just like, you need to come with me, and we'll have to do these things. And Agnes is finally in this moment of peace and seclusion. She sort of shared it with her, and Jamie is trying to take in stuff that's way, way, way too much for a kid to take in, but the situation is such that she sort of has to hear it now. So she's sort of crying because she's overwhelmed by this experience, and also loves her father and wants to go with him, but doesn't think it's the right thing anymore. How will we stop them? I think, well, on your score sheet, let's see. I don't want to answer how we'll stop them. I think that we're going to stop them by standing beside Agnes, and I think most of the mercenaries at this point have been sort of repelled and or mollified. I think that like one by one from the various parts of the battlefield will come together to stand by Agnes and Jamie, and sort of say like, you've got to go through us, and that's not going to happen. But on your score sheet, add up the number of your scores, then add up the adversary scores. The highest score wins. The adversary wins on a tie. What's our score?
So our score is 64.
Nice.
The adversary's score is 27.
Holy
Okay.
crap.
Whoa.
So I wrote
Did well. Yeah, 64 better than 27. We win. Okay.
Oh wow. Okay.
Why can't we let them succeed? I think we can't let them succeed because if we let Roger take Jamie now, he would force her into a life that isn't of her choosing. And if she stays with Agnes, then she could decide to embrace her power or reject it. But we're not going to let a future prediction or prophecy demand, dictate her life.
Jess, are you okay?
Yes. Fuck your fate.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think we're saying when the problem comes along, we'll deal with it then, but we're not gonna just let some unknowing force dictate her life. If you win, if your score is higher, your group defeats the adversary and the danger passes. There might be a new danger someday, but for now, we can rest. Yeah, I think ultimately there's a moment where Forge sort of finally returns after being knocked like a bazillion miles away. And Forge is like there, like, I will burn and crush them all if you want. And Roger is looking, and I think there's tears in his eyes. And he reaches his hand out to Jamie, and she, I think she reaches the hand out to Jamie, and the talisman that he would wear is actually like a wrist bracelet. And it's clear that the bracelet is gone, right? That's not there anymore. So when his sleeve pulls up, she sees that it's not there again, and it's a reminder to her of how he's changed and whatnot. And when he reaches out to her, she kind of reaches underneath the blanket and like hands him a vase instead, and it's got Aurora's glowing gem hand in it, and it's like, maybe this will help you find your way. Maybe this will help you find a solution. She hands this vase, if that's okay with you, Jess. I think Aurora can grow back, and is like, because of all the proverbs about a gem in the jar is worth a carrot in the bush, or whatever the proverbs that we have.
Oh God, that's so good.
And hands him that, and Forge is like, oh, I'm ready to destroy, and he just is crestfallen, and when he turns, then so do all the mercenaries that work for him. Yeah, I think that's that. If it doesn't, there's a wrapping up. But if anyone wants to add anything to that scene, I'm open to other things happening with our characters as well.
I love it. Thank you for that.
That works.
Yeah.
I would like to. I'd like to hand Janny a blanket. And then immediately fall asleep after. Like, I'm just going to hand her a blanket and then just lie down and go to sleep.
Mhm.
It is like the middle of the night, right?
Yeah.
Right.
This
We're all
happens.
just gonna sleep out under the stars tonight.
Yeah.
Well,
We've got the
we're
lake.
gonna make sure this town is out of fire first.
Details. Yeah.
Look.
All right, Misha, you want to read the wrapping up?
Wait a
section?
minute. For the
Oh, sorry. What was that, Sin?
no, it's fine. I was going to ask, like, if Misha, like, depending on the interactions that Misha has had with their adversaries,
Yeah.
like, are they just lying on the ground and a blanket just falls where they happen to be?
Where would my adversaries have been at? Oh, that's a good question. I think Ivy is probably curled up where I would probably normally be, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, so wrapping up. With the adversary defeated, or not, the session is complete. Discuss briefly how you want to frame the final moments of this part of the story before you end things, and then thank each other for the time spent together. I think we already did the wrapping up part.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't mean to, but I feel like
Yeah, very nice.
It was caked just perfectly. It all fell together that way,
Yes.
and
yeah.
you smoothed it out, Sean. Thank you.
Mhm.
Oh. is the
Yeah, see,
blankets.
this is how Sean and I's relationship usually works: is I throw things and mess things up, and Sean's out.
It's a pretty good synergy there. Yeah, it's why it's better for Misha to go first in a turn. Misha will be like, but what if all of these terrible things, and then I'm like, but what if bunnies?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yup. Well, I think there's a compulsory next turn the next step we have to take, which is to thank each other. So thank you all for this lovely story of family reunion and blankets.
Well, thank you for sharing all of this with me. It's been fun.
Yeah, thanks for playing.
Yeah, this was fun. I liked it a lot. Thank you so much.
I'm very grateful. Thank you.
Next week we'll be back for the final session on actual play to do the last part of it. But before then, before next week, in 3 short days, this game is gonna launch on Kickstarter.
Saturday.
Mnemonic, if I can spell it correctly, there we go.
That's all the dancing you wanted me to do.
Put the link in chat. You can follow now, and when you if you follow now, you'll get an email notification when it goes live, so you can jump on it first thing. Yeah, check it out. And then if you have thoughts and you want to ask questions about it, you could come here in a week and ping us in chat and talk about it too. That would be fun. Anywho, I'm Sean Nittner. I use he, him pronouns. I had a delight playing Warren tonight. I'll be back next week for a whole bunch of actual play. We're kind of on the week on, week off for most of our shows right now. So next week, I think next game will be this one in a week. My game Agon is shipping to backers right now. I've seen pictures of people have it. I don't have my copy yet. It makes me very happy for the people who do have their copy. The release date is October 5th, so I'm super excited about that being out on store shelves too. Yeah, I think that's about it for me. How about you, Misha?
Hi, I'm Misha B. I am PG Gameworks on Twitter. My next game, I think, is actually on Sunday. I am doing a charity play of Harlem Unbound with some amazing people. And you can find that, and I'll find a link and stick it in the chat in a minute, because I don't know where it is. But we're raising money for the Bail Project. So tune in. You get to see what my hair ends up doing, because I've got hats, but I haven't figured out how to get my hair under the hat. And blue hair isn't really period, but I'm not dyeing my hair a different color, because just so we'll have to figure it out. There might be wigs involved. I don't know. We haven't decided yet, but I guess I gotta come up with that soon. So yeah, that's me. How about you, Jess?
Me? I go by Burst of Hope on Twitter, and you can catch me usually behind the scenes of twitch.tv/Utopia with an H. That is a channel for POC by POC, where we try and do a little bit of everything in the tabletop space, whether that's a long form, one shot, or just talking about games. Just doing whatever we want, or creating or highlighting a creator of color in this industry, whether they're a game designer or an artist. It's been a lot of fun. So follow us on Twitter, and you can catch all our cool updates when we go live. Sin!
Well, hi, I am Sinziak. I use he, him pronouns. I am still kind of like, oh, this is a whole story arc, and that I got to help write, and y'all have done so many amazing and cool things with it, and I have very, very big feelings about it. So there's that. I am Sinziak Beta on Twitter, where if you want to get into all of that stuff, where I ask about why things are the way they are a lot, and go and bookmark that Kickstarter on Saturday so that you can get it.
Yes.
Please and thank you. D.
I am D. My pronouns are they and them. I wrote the rules to the game we played tonight and the game that we played last week and the game that we're playing next week. And I'm project managing the Mnemonic Kickstarter project. So I'm really excited about it. There's so much good stuff coming. Sin did a really great job writing this story arc, and I'm really glad that we get to play in it. And there are like 24 additional story arcs coming for this. So strap in. It's going to be wild. Definitely come follow the Kickstarter, back it on Saturday or whenever you are ready to do that. We'll be running it all through the end of August and beginning of September. So that's it. You can find me, you can find me on Twitter at dpennyway. I talk about layout design because I do layout design a lot. I talk about game design, and I occasionally rant about things. Follow me for the other stuff. Tolerate me for that bit. And yeah, I'm gonna toss it back to you, Sean.
Thanks all. This is wonderful. Thanks, chat, for hanging out with us. And we'll see you again in a week. Bye.